Hey everyone, Ryan from the Rad Owners Forum. Welcome to sunny Wisconsin. Here we are in winter. It's actually pretty nice out, so can't complain too much. I wanted to do a quick video talking about accessories for all the models of Rad power bikes. I have a page on the forum which will obviously be in the link in the description, but I have my Rad wagon here. I'm going to just talk through kind of how we use our Rad wagon, some of the most popular accessories that people use. I think one of the things that I like about e-bikes is they're just so accessible to everyone, from hardcore cyclists who use them for cross training to people who haven't been on a bike in 10-20 years, of all ages. I'm 31. We use our Rad wagon all the time. We actually replaced one of our vehicles with the Rad wagon, so we're a one-car family. And so since everyone kind of comes from these different perspectives, there's, some people just haven't been on a bike for a long time, so they're kind of wondering what accessories they should get for their bike. And I think the accessories you should have for an e-bike are a little bit different than what you might have for a mountain bike or a road bike. So with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so hopefully I'll catch all the accessories. We'll start at the front of the bike. I think if you already own a Rad power bike, you probably have noticed that there's not a really great spot to mount a water bottle cage. You can see down below here there's the mounts for it, but it's just not a good location, especially if you're riding. So this, I think, is an awesome option. There's a company called MRI Denver that makes a metal version of this. This is actually a 3D printed version of the similar to what MRI Denver makes, but obviously this is far cheaper, and actually someone from the community made this. It actually says Rad Owners Forum right on the front, so that was pretty cool of them to send this to me. So you can obviously print your own, you can have it printed. I would consider doing a group buy at some point if enough people are interested. But then this is also a cage that's 3D printed, but obviously you could use any regular metal cage after you have this the first part printed. So that's been really nice. Highly recommend that. Obviously it won't work if you have the front rack or front basket, but there's holes on each side for water bottles, so that's kind of nice. And then moving on to the handlebars here, I think almost everyone who buys a Rad power bike should have a mirror. It makes a world of difference. This is the first mirror I've ever had for a bike, and it is so nice to see traffic coming from behind you. This is the mirror cycle. It's what most people buy. You just pop off the cap, and then it just goes in there, and then you turn this and it kind of expands in there to hold it in place. And it's still adjustable, so when my wife or I ride it, we can adjust depending on our heights. So that's been great. This will work on all models except for the Rad Runner. If you have a Rad Runner, you can either opt for a different one, or I did see someone actually cut off on the inside to make it work. I'm not sure how stable it is, but that's another option. But this is the most popular one. It's like $12. So highly recommend that. And then we also really like having a cell phone holder. This is one of the cheaper ones from Amazon. Rad sells one that's pretty pricey that I know everyone raves about, but I think, as you'll notice, kind of as I'm going through our accessories, we take a little bit more of a minimalistic approach. So I just went with something that would work, and this has been working fine. Feels like it holds our phone securely. Just didn't want to spend that extra money and get a really fancy one. And as I said, as we go through this, you'll see that we didn't go crazy on the accessories. Some people go changing brakes and all sorts of things, upgrading to hydraulic, and we just haven't had the need. And there's other things that you can use instead. So just going on down to here, I did have some leftover. You can't really see it because of the sun, but there's this clear film. It's a chain guard. I had some left over, and I put that there, and you can kind of see out where the chain would otherwise bang that up. Obviously they have this back here, but so that's been a good addition. I did put also some here by the cable, so if you kind of want to keep your bike really nice, that's a really good option. And you'll kind of notice too below, I did make custom wood runners. Just cut them up really quick, and that's because we attach our child trailer here, so if you're wondering what that's all about. Okay, and then we do have a seat bag that's handy to just throw keys in, an extra phone in, whatever. We do not have a suspension seat post. I've considered buying it. They're around $100. There's two options if you want to check those out that are pretty popular. Rad sells one. You can get it on Amazon too. The Cloud 9 seat, highly recommend. Much better than the stock seat. A lot of people actually opt for that one. But you know, any seat will really work. I just know this is a popular one for the price, and it did make a difference actually. So that's a good investment. This is obviously the handle that Rad sells. Highly recommend that. We also bought the seat pad. We use it because we often ride with two adults on the back of our wagon. It's okay. I would say kind of after over a year, it kind of flattened out. So if you're at all inclined to make your own and put some seat padding in, I've seen some people make like motorcycle grade seat pads, and that sure would be nice. So that's something we might look to do in the future. But if you want something quick and just to have it, you can buy the one from Rad. Alright, so moving on to the back. So I know that Rad sells their rear baskets for all the other bikes, and you can do all sorts of things. To be honest with you, this is just like a milk crate that we had, and we've been using this pretty much since we got the bike. We throw books in there, groceries, whatever. And for a while we were securing it with just bungee cords. And the problem with bungee cords is obviously over time they kind of loosen up. But I did get these cinch straps. They're actually like just free after rebate from my local hardware store, and that really secures them down. Last night I went to Ace Hardware to pick up a 50-pound bag of driveway salt, ice melt, and I just used this, and that really worked. And then I did use the bungee cords just for texture to secure it, but this is so much nicer because you can cinch that down as tight as you want. So if this is kind of the setup you're going with, highly recommend that. And you'll notice we just have a tarp underneath here, one to protect the board, but two, just in case we are ever to get caught anywhere where it's just pouring rain or something, just cover the bike up. Use the bungee cords. I think maybe we've used that once, but just a good extra thing, doesn't add a lot of weight, and you can just hide it under the basket. So that's a good idea as well. And then, you know, I know a lot of people have saddlebags and those sort of things. We just use a backpack, and you know, we've used like rope to tie them across. This one has a clip that you can use. We've used laptop bags, so you don't need to go and spend a lot of money. You can kind of make do with what you have and just kind of see what works. So the other thing that I think is worth mentioning is bike locks. Probably the most popular question that I see, and there's just so many options. And to be honest with you, I don't think there's any perfect solution. We live in an area where bike theft isn't really an issue, but we still obviously lock it up. The kryptonite makes a lot of popular ones, but if you're at all worried about, and I think a thief is going to be able to cut through any lock you buy, just given enough time. So I think you should definitely have one, but just know that there's no perfect solution, and you don't want to rely entirely on it if you're in an area where theft is common. So yeah, this one I think was maybe $20. It's actually a utility lock, but what we really like about it, and I'll see if I can show you. So came with a bunch of keys, and this is actually the small version. So if you're looking at the where I have this linked, but it adjusts. So that is really nice because, you know, there's some places where we go where you have to park the bike a little further away, or you're not locking it to a bike rack, and obviously with the bike stand, your bike is inherently further away from whatever you're locking it to. So that's been really nice. And then optional, you can use like a cable, simple cable lock, loop that through, and then loop it through the front tire. But like I said, I wouldn't spend too much money if you're really worried. Buy insurance, buy a motion alarm, those sort of things will maybe be a better idea. Velo Assurance is a popular one, I know. Otherwise, try to get it added on your homeowners for cheap. And yeah, I think that's about it. I think the only other thing that I'll mention is having a good bike pump makes a world of difference. I have one from Blackburn. It's so old that I don't even know if they make it anymore. But I would say definitely that'll make your life a lot easier, because it's really important that you know how much pressure is in each tire. And if it attaches easier, that makes a world of difference. So I wouldn't skimp out on a bike pump at all. And yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything we use. Like I said, not too crazy on the accessories. And I know a lot more people buy a lot more things, and some of those will be in my recommended accessories or suggested ones that you can take a look at. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Otherwise, check out the accessories in the description below. Thanks again. Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to support what I'm doing with the Rad Owners Forum and some of the content that I'm producing, here's 3 easy ways that you can do so. Number 1, you can, if you're buying a Rad Power bike, you can earn a $50 Amazon gift card. I will also receive one. There's a link in the description below, also on my website, radowners.com. Number 2, you can view our recommended accessories pages. This is a bunch of accessories for all the models of Rad Power bikes. Recommended accessories from the community that I've compiled over the last year or so. So you can check that out, also link below. And third, obviously, you can just join the forum, become a member, ask questions, and share your experience with others. Thanks again for watching.